It is 9:39 a.m. and I had two trades with CHNC and they're two completely different setups. The first setup was like a previous day high breakout. As you can see, I had a nice first screen day here. And then the second one was right here, and the very top was this 44 sub penny level. So my idea is that today it could have been the thing where it opens at its highs off of the previous day, and then it continues to uptrend and be a morning spike once it officially breaks that high of day. So when it looked like it was going to be above 44 and then maybe even continue the uptrend some more when it was shooting towards 47 and it looked like it could have been a morning spike, I did get in 25,000 shares at 47, and then the price action started to look really bad, so I immediately got out the same minutes, just 22 seconds later, and I got out at 46, and that was pretty much the trade there. I just didn't like the price action. Something looked really off and bad about it. There were a lot of sellers at the ask, and then it did have this panic. As you can see here, it did drop, and it got as low as the sub penny 33 level. And then I was in the setup again for that morning panic bounce play. I was in at 936. I don't think I had the right amount of shares. I'll probably check later to see what my dollar risk level was. I decided to trade something similar to what I traded right here in the first setup. I probably needed to have more shares here, but I did buy 30,000 shares at 36, and that was at 936, which was right around here at 936. I got filled, and it was looking like it was trying to turn around, and then it immediately did break this mini resistance level that I had here at 36. It got to 37. I sold half of my position at 37. The next minute at 937 on an uptrend to kind of help me be more patient with the rest of my shares, but the price action was just kind of weird. It threw me off a bit, and I had a trend line drawn, and once it looks like it was going to break the trend line that I drew, I did get out the other half at 38. I think I sold a tiny amount, yeah, just 500 shares at 39, but pretty much 38 at 938. I got out right here, and it's actually a bit higher. There's a nice wall of people at 39, especially here at 38, and VWAP is right here at this 40 sub penny level, so there's a pretty good chance that it could try to maybe break past it. It just depends, but yeah, I could have sold maybe a little better, but I think I'm overall happy with it because I sold half of my position on the uptrend, and then I sold the other half once it broke the trend line that I drew. And now, hindsight is 2020. Maybe I could have drawn it off of this, right? Even at this point, it would still be off of it. So I'm actually pretty happy with the way I traded it. And the only thing I could try to do was maybe just hold like, I don't know, a tenth of my position just to see what it will do over a longer period of time. But I think that's, again, hindsight 2020. I think I traded this the best that I could have for the time being. And I did have a verified cancel. I did try to get in TXTM for, it was like a gap down morning panic bounce play. As you can see right here, it did close at this, I think this, yeah, this sub penny 80 level, and it opened much lower, right? And it got as low as this 61 level. I did want to buy 20,000 shares at 65, and that was at 934. There's a chance I could have been in. There's a chance I could have been filled, but I canceled it. And I just felt kind of off. It just felt kind of off. This one just felt weird, but it did uptrend. It got to 68. It did have a dip back to 64 under VWAP, but it was just brief. And yeah, this thing can try to break the 69 sub penny level as it's trying to do right now. And this could be a very nice move. And I could have been in at 65. Yeah, it stinks that this one's working out and I canceled the order. Who knows if I would have gotten filled or not, but I don't know, it just felt weird, And I'm not going to call it perfectly on all setups. That's pretty much it for right now. I'll continue to look for setups, but yeah, those two are what I had at the moment, and I will make an update later. It is 10:06 a.m. and I am looking at this for a potential morning panic bounce by higher low setup. So we had the panic, it bounces, and now this is going to be ideally a higher low off of this bottom, but I just don't like the way it's trading, and I don't like how there are just still a lot of sellers at the ask, which isn't ideal. It would be ideal if maybe it could try to downtrend just a little more, maybe get to 34, or maybe even become a lower low off of here and wipe out all these sellers that are trying to sell at a higher price, and then that could be something that could turn around. I don't mind if I miss this one just because of how weird it's trading and how many sellers there are at the ask, but this is what I'm currently looking at. And I do find EVFM interesting. I had it in my notes that this could be like a confirmed breakout over this 111 level. It was kind of like resistance here, but then when it broke past it the other day, just briefly, it was looking pretty interesting, and it was able to hold itself together and really gain momentum and make a move above it. I don't know how easy or hard this would have been to trade because I didn't trade it, but this one did work out. Although, yeah, the price action isn't as nice as an OTC. And yeah, I'll continue to be watching CHNC. I just don't like the way it looks, but it looks like we do have more support at the bid. It is 10:29. Let's go over a trade I had with VXIT. And the idea with VXIT was that it was like a breakout over this previous resistance level, which is roughly around this 59.60 level. I consider 60 to be that level, and there is going to be resistance here. It could get to the 67s, best case scenario. It breaks past that as well, but I was interested. There was a chance when I could have actually bought this at 61, but I just wanted to see more confirmation that this thing could actually uptrend. And then I eventually got in 20,000 shares at 62, and that was at 1018, which was right here. 1018 was when I got in at 62. And I did drew a trend line. I drew this trend line right here, and when it started to get past it, and I was waiting, it wasn't doing anything. It was just sitting there for a very long time. I decided to cut my risk and just sell half of my position, and I was able to sell half of my position at 1024, which was right here. 1024. I sold half at 61. That was probably me right here. And yeah, I just got out half of my position because it was just taking too long. I didn't like how it was well past the trend line. It wasn't following it anymore, and of course it doesn't have to, but I like it if it were to have continued to follow it and break out of this range and then be something pretty impressive where, it can like do a nice spike or something like that. It just didn't really do anything like that. So eventually I did get out the other piece at 61 and a half. It wasn't actually 62, it was 61 and a half. In fact, my print, it was here actually. It's no longer there. Oh, I was right here. This was my print right here. As you can tell, the time is the same at 10:25, and then my sell was right here before 10:26. So I lost a tiny amount. This thing can ultimately do it, but I don't like how somebody bought over a million shares at 62 and it doesn't break 62. Like there's a hidden seller with a lot of size, and you can see all of these prints right here. It still hasn't broken past 62. So I'd like to see it work out eventually. There's obviously a seller with a lot of size that's preventing it from uptrending, and this one also doesn't have that much volume anyway. So that's pretty much the case with that one, and there isn't really anything else that I'm looking at that was interesting. This looks like a symmetrical triangle for a moment, and it did break the bottom part of it. So it's obviously not a setup that I'm going to be considering. And I was watching this for a while. I just didn't like the way it was trading. It could try to turn around maybe later on in the future around 11 a.m. and maybe make a move towards VWAP, but it's not looking that nice right now. I'll make an update later, but yeah, that was a good attempt, I think, with VXIT. It is 11:55 p.m. and I'm here to call it off. Overall, I'm gonna be up just $2.50, and that was having a few trades in it. Okay, that sucks. It looks like it's no longer showing my trades. I guess it's because we're close to midnight, so it's going to transition to the next day already. Anyway, that was pretty much it in terms of what I traded. You can see from my balance, from right here to the one that I have saved right here, right from when I had the last trade, it's the same amount. So it's not like I had a stinky trade or something and I lost a bunch and I'm trying to hide it or something like that. I try to show my balance every single day just to be 100% transparent. And yeah, as for VXIT, this one did not work out. It did ultimately downtrend some more. This is when I
was looking at it, and yeah, that was clearly a big hidden seller at 62. It did downtrend, and I don't know if I were to have traded it. I did not see this, but there is a chance I might have considered trading this, and this would have been pretty profitable. So yeah, just up $2.50 because I did take an L with CHNC in the morning. This one right here, this one did not work out. And then the one with VXIT. And then I did have that one trade with CHNC, which was later in the day. And this one, I actually did my best with this one, but it did uptrend much more. And it could have been more profitable in theory. But for right now, I'm going to stick to selling half when it's on an uptrend and then the other half when it breaks a trend line or does something around VWAP, which was the case here. This was a pretty good day nonetheless. Didn't make that much, but at least on the trade that did work out, I did my best in that one, and the other two were just simply scratches. That's all I have for today.